Greetings, everybody. This is Archangel Macintosh, aka Mikael Israel, from the tribe of Levi, from the 12 tribes of Israel, Levi and Judah, Yahudah. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Hope things are going according to how you intended it, how you planned it, and how you are acting upon it. I hope that all your dreams and your intentions are being fulfilled. And I hope that you're seeing a lot of prosperity in your life right now at this time, although we're in crazy times. This is part 5 to this spiritually sovereign indigenous creditors of Mother Earth's free videos that I'm sharing with you guys based on supreme laws of existence, common law, natural law, man-made law, universal law, sovereignty, nationality law, and so on. Well, this part 5 is a continuation of the series, so if you haven't seen the previous sections yet, please stop this recording and check out that before you move on to this. Start off with the first one, the first video, which is the Supreme Laws of Existence. Alright, so in today's video, like I said, in part 5, we're going to be studying about the Moorish, Hebrew, Israelite, and Haitian Americans, or the Moors, the Hebrews, the Israelites, and the Haitians, as well as some of the 12 tribes of Israel, Isis, Ra, Elohim. And as you can tell, a lot of things has been changed over time. They took all this stuff from our pyramids. They, started to change it up a little bit. Eventually, it became white. You see, at Christ, Yahawashai had become pretty much white, which they called Jesus. They switched the name, they switched the belief, the history, the religion. They changed up everything, but truthfully, where they got everything is here. They got it from the pyramids, they got it from our sacred work, our sacred art, all literature, all music, all cultures, all dances and rhythms and certain stuff like that, poetry, astrology, metaphysics, all that come from Israel. We come from Amexem, which is Africa. So we're gonna go ahead and begin. I love these pictures, very beautiful. Go ahead, check them out real quick. And once again, I'm not one-sided, I'm not biased. I love everyone, I love every culture. I just want to be able to enjoy mine without being lied to and being deceived, because we have a history of being many places that they said we weren't. We didn't all just come from Africa, from Amexem. Some of us were already in America, some of us were already in in England. And the white people didn't like us and stuff, so they pretty much kicked us out, or deported us out and trafficked us. Most of these pyramids all built by tribal people from our race, the 12 tribes of Israel. They're aligned with certain ley lines on earth, which are certain energy meridians, power points on earth where energy can travel from one point of the earth to the other to fire up the grid. And just showing you guys just a little brief sample of these things, all these tribes. So we're not just black people, we have a tribe and all that stuff. Some of these pictures I also have to fix them up on there, right? Pardon me. So I hope you guys don't mind taking a look at these things. Sedona, Arizona. This actually used to be a ocean, but when there was a shift in the earthquakes that happened in Atlantis, the waters shifted, the poles had shifted, so where water used to be, water ain't there no more, and we call those places Grand Canyons because they needed to be Grand Canyons so it can be filled up with grand water. You see, so now when like the Atlantis Ocean moves, or Atlantic Ocean move, or the Indian Ocean, stuff like that, you'll notice that when the water moves from that section, you'll notice that it's a brand new, different type of Grand Canyon as well. So Grand Canyons are places where grand water used to be, masses of water. And you can tell by the erosion on the actual body of the rocks that there was water there. So go ahead and finish up. Ooh. Mayan pyramid. We used to use these things for good reasons, but all of a sudden people start using them for bad reasons and worshiping gods, sun gods, and things like that, worshiping idols and worshiping earthly things. So because we start to worship these things, we fell away from the actual knowledge. So that fall from the knowledge is what made us fallen angels. And these people are the fake Jews. They don't come from our country. They weren't born in our country. Our Bibles don't talk about them other than strangers taking over our land. Well, you see them all over Israel now, Israel. So obviously they must be the strangers that took over. See, most of these Indians were dark skinned. They didn't need to be actual black, but most of them were actually dark skinned. So like there's a whole history to why the white man does what he do. You know, he took all his stuff from our stuff, from our pyramids and things like that. Alright, let's go ahead, continue. Alright, so when you get on this page, you'll be able to see these things. IET. Alright, everyone has the right to a nationality. Therefore, by the way, some of this comes from my claim of nationality as well, so you'll see a mix of things. Therefore, I, the Honorable Mikael Yis-RoyAl, McIntosh of the Jean family, declare that my nationality is Hebrew Israelite, Israelite American, Hebrew American, Haitian American, Native American, and Moor, or you can say Moorish American, I'm a Moor. I'm a Moor, no American. I just put that there so they don't think I'm not American, you know. I was born here in America. It's my country too. It adds on to the collection. We are descendants of the biblically known family of Noah, Isaac, Abraham, Jacob, Joseph, Ruth, Boaz, Yahawashai, Moses, Moses, the ancient Moabites, Canaan, Yahushua, inappropriately known as Jesus, and Yahushua is Yahawashai. It's a true divine name for it. And the 12 tribes of ancient Israel, the land that Europeans, aka Americans, call America or the United States of America, was and is still originally inhabited by the native, sovereign, and indigenous, rich melanated skin, Moorish Hebrew Israelite people, way before Christopher Columbus and English colonists sailed to the Americas, Amexem, aka Africa, Haiti, aka Haiti, Israel, and Mecca, and invaded it. We, Moorish, Israelite, Hebrew Americans, declare peace between our sovereign culture, tribe, inappropriately called Black Americans, Black people, and African Americans. That's not our true name. And the sovereign tribes of England, English Americans, inappropriately called White Americans, white people, Ab initio. So we declare peace between our white and black races, our Moorish and English races, our Hebrew Israelite and English races. We just declare peace. You know, we want to live in harmony with each thing because this is part of the divine laws. You see? Furthermore, I, the Honorable Mikael Yisrael Elohim McIntosh of the Jean family, hereby proclaim, declare, state, publicly announce, and affirm that my nationality hereinafter is Hebrew Israelite American, Moorish American, Haitian American, Sovereign American, Native American, and Indigenous American. My race is Asiatic, Hebrew, and Israelite, and my status is sovereign, native, indigenous, original, and ancient. The Moorish Americans, Israelite Americans, Haitian Americans, and Hebrew Americans are not Negroes, colored folks, dark people, Africans, black people, and etc. Because these names and titles were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of duly constituted slavery in the United States. By the same system we're trying to protect and think gives a fuck about us. But this is a new era of time now. Yeah, what's the point of saving the United States and all that stuff while it's falling down right now, because it wasn't meant to support us anyways. But us Moorish and Hebrew Israelite people ended up thinking we can probably make a change in this system by joining them. You know what I'm saying? But you're joining them, not running it. So this system don't support us. No wonder the creator is gonna bring it down, and it's going down. I'm starting to see why America's falling apart, but I love this country. Maybe I don't fully love the system, but I love this country. This is my land. This is where I was born and raised. What the fuck? I protect the land before this corporate name. Real shit. But this is a new era of time now. All men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by their government and the nations of the earth. We hold these truths to be self-evident that man is made in the image and after the likeness of the great God, their creator. Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya, the great I am. Or Yahweh. The one, I am that I am. He don't only exists. That no man can be Negro, black, or colored and can be attached to the human family. European rulers gave these labels to the Moors, or Caucasian rulers, or German rulers, or the tribe of Kazar rulers. They're the tribe of the pretty much the Europeans, or so-called white people. Tribe of Kazar, the tribe of Satan, or Edom. European rulers gave these labels to the Moors of West Africa in a process of denationalization. And they also gave this to the Hebrew Israelites too, to denationalize them as well. The Moorish Americans are descendants of Moroccans, the northwestern capital of the mighty Carthage Moorish Empire from 700 BC before Christ to 1820 after death. The ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Amexem, aka Africa, born indigenous in the continental lands. The Moorish Americans are descendants of Moroccans, the northwestern capital of the mighty Carthage Moorish Empire. The ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Amexem, aka Africa, born indigenous in the continental lands of the Americas. The Moorish Americans are a clean and pure nation, which means we're a white nation. We're pure. White means purity, and black means dirty and all that stuff. Dirty, dark, all that stuff. But truthfully, it doesn't mean that. There's a lie to that. In the books, when you look at the books, it says that white mean pure and black mean that, which would denote that us so-called Moorish people and Hebrew Israelites are the white one, because we're the right one, and they are truly black because they're the one who was wicked. You see what I'm saying? Truthfully, those words don't mean anything. They mean whatever we give them. They mean the value we give them. And for a while, black meant wicked. It meant tainted. It meant evil and all that stuff. So how can you be a black people? So they were trying to curse us, in other words, and have us curse ourselves. I'm black. Nah, nigga, I'm black. And calling each other nigga and black, all this stuff. What the heck? Man, my people is dying for a lack of knowledge, man. Dying. We have naturally derived our free national name, Moorish, by Western African descent and American by indigenous birthright. We now proclaim the heritage of our ancient forefathers, the ancient Moabites who inhabited Amexem, the first true and divine name of present-day Africa, with its extreme western lands of North, Central, and South Americas, with Atlantis, the Atlantic Ocean, or Atlantis, and adjoining islands. We're the true heirs of the earth mounds, pyramids, and 40-ton Moorish basalt heads built and sculptured by our seafaring forefathers, founders of the first civilization in the Americas, 10 to 20,000 years ago. The 10,000-year-old skeleton discovery of an African man named Kennewick Man, the basalt heads and earth mounds can be found to this day from Canada in the north, southward towards the United States, Mexico, Central, and into South America, proves our pre-American existence here. And this is still the Hebrew Israelites, because the more the part of the Hebrew Israelites, we have been separated because of the great destruction that happened. Matter of fact, I truly believe that the so-called Negroes and the blacks, which are truly Moors, are the tribe of Judah. We are the tribe of Judah, literally. I'll explain that later on, you'll see. But Moors aren't Moors either. They're Hebrew Israelites from the tribe of Judah. Or they're the rebellious Islamic radical nation that had been fighting with the Hebrew Israelites, the outcasts. So maybe there probably were some dark-skinned races that were outcasts and abandoned from our 12 tribes. You see what I'm saying? But if they're not abandoned and everyone's one and all dark people are the 12 tribes of Israel, I know for certain then that Moorish Americans are the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes and blacks, which are truly Moors. See, there's one thing the Hebrew Israelites do not explain. You see what I'm saying? They explain that the tribe of Judah is the so-called blacks and all that stuff in America, but they don't explain that these so-called blacks were never called blacks. They were never blacks. They were the Moorish Americans. But then there is kind of a slight difference there, because the one thing about the Moors, they were born here already. They were already here. They were pre-existing here already. Way before the Hebrew Israelites were brought over and transported to America. There were already Moors here, so it's kind of confusing at the moment, at least for me, because I'm still learning my history and stuff like that. But if the Moors are already born here, and the Hebrew Israelites they're talking about, the tribe of Judah, the ones that were taken from Africa and called Negro and black and all that stuff and sent over here, then there must be two different things going on. Or they're probably the same thing. They're probably the same thing. The Moors are probably already sent here before the Hebrew Israelites came here to set the grounds here for them when they come here. You see? So the Moors are a primordial here. They were here before any other race came here, especially before the Indians, which came from Indiana and India. And them, they're the tribe of God as well, G-A-D. They're part of the 12 tribes of Israel, as well as the Mexicans, the Argentinians, Boricuas, which is the Puerto Ricans, and the Jamaicans, Trinidadians, like all of them, you know. They're really a dark, natural race of people, all collabed together. So true history declares the Moorish Americans, seed of the ancient Canaanites from the Holy Land of Canaan, are the original inhabitants of the Americas, whether by legacy or dormant conditions of servitude. No other people can rightfully make this indigenous claim, including the so-called Indian tribes that followed centuries later, save the Moorish nations. We also proclaim parcel in America through the blood of our forefathers that has been shed in acquiring the independence and sustaining the prosperity and tranquility which has glorified the United States of America through all of her wars and conflicts, defending the principles of the Republic for which she stands. So once again, the Moors were protecting a lot of the U.S. Armies, because some of them didn't want to be slaves no more. Some of them want to be free, so they joined the U.S. Army, and unfortunately, while they joined the U.S. Army, they were forced to enslave other black people as well. Not only were they forced to enslave other black people, they were pretty much engaging in wars with the U.S. or for the U.S. As allegiance with the U.S. You see, and the Moors pretty much helped the United States and these English colonists beat their war against England's king. You see what I'm saying? So that formed the peace treaty between us and America. Not the United States. The United States is someone else. The one in all capital. America is the actual country that we made this treaty with. There is no America no more, so all treaties has been diminished, all constitution has been diminished. We're in anarchy pretty much. There's no laws or rules, especially once we lost gold and silver, because it's the currency that sets the law. So if you're messing with Federal Reserve currency, then they're setting the law on you. They can place their laws on you that way, their statutes and foreign codes. So the Moors had actually helped America win their fights. We had actually won against England, and we got our respect, we got our dues. And we're one of the most savagest and best and strongest warriors on the field, to the point the British men start to respect us. The British colonists, which are so-called white people, they start to respect us and love us. We became addictive to them to a point where Abraham Lincoln had to emancipate them and free us. But once again, some of the Moors were still traitors still, because they got used to being slaves and being under the wing of the white man, so they kind of help the white man do his evil deeds and carry on his fictitious system of the Republic and all this bullshit that wasn't here before the European came and changed up the Moors' beliefs. Also, there's other stuff about the Moors too to say, but the Moors, like, they have a crazy past, man, crazy past, just like every other culture. They're clean and pure now, ever since Noble Drew Ali had came to America and shared the knowledge of who we truly are and reconnect the races and stuff. And if that's what happened, you know, I can't really say. The Moorish Americans, endowed by their creator with the high principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the 5 points to the star, are rejoining the family of nations upon the earth, the nation of the Hebrew Israelites. All nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace, but there is but one true and divine way that peace may be obtained in these days, and it is through these principles being taught universally to all nations in all lands. Under these principles, all men are one, and all men are one and equal to seek their own destiny after the holy and divine laws of their forefathers, or the Most High. We are the return of the ancient ones, and we are today what our ancient forefathers were yesterday, without doubt or contradiction. And our forefathers are the Hebrew Israelites, Abraham, Moses, Isaac, Shem, Noah, all these people, because they're the ones who pretty much created the Moors too. The Moors were coexisting in Africa right next to, pretty much right next to the Hebrew Israelites. At times they had conflicts too, and eventually they resolved those things and united with each other. Like, the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites are like a married couple that love each other and hate each other at the same time. It's funny. Like, we gotta get over that. But eventually, when Africa branched apart and stuff because of the earthquake that happened on Atlantis, the Moors separated and stuff, just like the 12 tribes and the 12 continents, all this stuff, and or the 12 planets, and they pretty much forgot that they're Hebrew Israelite, like all the ancient ones, or they're the Gentiles as well. Therefore, we are returning to the church in Therefore, we're returning the church in Christianity back to the European nations, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. Jesus, Zeus, Jehovah, all that satanic shit, satanic wording. While we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islamism, and us Hebrew Israelites returning back to Hebrew Israelite, back to Yahudah, the old-time religion of ancient Commission mystery system, ancient Egypt mystery system, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. Hence we are too seeking first the kingdom of heaven, of love, higher consciousness, by honoring our Father and our Mother, Father Spirit and our Mother Earth, that our days as a people will be long upon our earthland, which Adonai, the Lord, the great Almighty, has given us. Such a covenant of endurance and prosperity can never been given to those deluding to the misnomers of Negro, Black, Blacks, Blacks, and colored people. We Moorish Israelite flesh and blood women and men have an existing contract and agreement with the United States of America. Moorish and American Peace and Friendship Agreement, 1786, Treaty of 1787. Constitution 6, and request for the people of the United States of America to respect that agreement, uphold that agreement, and remain bounded by that agreement. The United States treaties are the current supreme laws of the land. May our friendship and unity continue to grow and expand as we learn to live in peace, love, and harmony instead of the opposite thereof. We, the continental natives, descendants of Moroccans from the old Moorish Empire, whose ancient forefathers received permission from the pharaohs of ancient Kemet, Egypt, to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, Amexem. And remember, Joseph, he was one of the brothers that they talk about in the Bibles and the scriptures, that he had a talent, he had vision, he had strong dreams, a strong intuition. He used to tell his dad, what's his name again? I believe it's Noah. I'm not sure because I don't get into the whole books like that, but I believe it was Noah. Noah was his dad, or maybe I think it was Abraham. It probably was Abraham. Actually, it was Abraham. So, yeah, and it was the 12 tribes. Okay, I see it, because he had 12 brothers and stuff. Like, everything's metaphors and stuff. Bottom line, it all links to astrology, though, in different stuff. But there was this brother Joseph. He was very intuitive and visual. He used to tell his brothers and family about his visions, and they thought he was kind of crazy, and they kind of were jealous of him and envied him, because their father, Abraham or Jacob, one of them, I can't tell you the one. You guys know, some of you. He pretty much admired Joseph for his vision and stuff like that. So one day, while all the brothers were out and stuff, he went over there to go check them out, see what they were doing. And they plotted an evil plan against him to sell him and get rid of him, so they wouldn't have to worry about him no more and stuff, and they can get the attention of the dad and whatnot. So they did it. They threw him into this hole, this ditch, left him there screaming. Eventually, there was a there was an Egyptian tribe coming by, the Commission tribe, the Pharaoh's tribe, because the Pharaoh had his tribe accomplished already there. There was a Pharaoh in Egypt already, you see. So, the brothers were like, let's just sell him, to Egypt, or sell him into slavery, and we'll make some money. So they went ahead and sold Joseph. Well, Joseph, he eventually, over time, became the second to the Pharaoh in Egypt. The Pharaoh literally made him high-ranking because he was so psychic, so intuitive, so visual. The Pharaoh needed him to pretty much decode prophecies and decode dreams, because Joseph was good at this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like a psychic. So eventually Joseph was able to bring his father Jacob or Abraham, whichever one, I'm not sure right now. Pardon me for not knowing, but I'm still learning, like I said. He brought his family. Well, there's a whole trick to it too, because he did a lot of stuff before he let his family in. But Joseph pretty much brought his family of the tribe of Israel, because he's from the tribe of Israel, into Egypt, and the pharaohs honored his family. They honored everything. The Pharaoh let him be there. You see, they ate in the temples, they ate in all that. They ate, like, Joseph was pretty much hooking them up, because he was pretty much the Pharaoh. He's second to Pharaoh, which means he's the second to order in Pharaoh in Egypt. So they got permission, the Hebrew Israelites got permission from Pharaoh to settle and inhabit the northwest Africa of Mexam, which is Egypt. So, because of that, the Egyptians and the Hebrew Israelites started to commingle and intertwine. Over time, the Hebrew Israelites started to multiply and be fruitful. So the Egyptians started to get mad, and the original Pharaoh had died. So that Pharaoh and stuff, pretty much, the next Pharaoh that came in pretty much didn't give a damn about Hebrew Israelites or nothing. So they pretty much broke the peace and everything and started enslaving the Hebrew Israelites, punishing them, getting rid of them. And then this is when the Ramses or Ramiz or whatever it is and stuff, like Akhenaten and all this stuff. But then that's when Moses pretty much had to come, because Moses is a Hebrew Israelite as well, and they were killing all the Hebrews during that time, but Moses happened to be the only one that survived. You see what I'm saying? So Moses pretty much was raised in the temple with the Pharaoh and all this stuff, and once he found out he was Hebrew Israelite and Pharaoh killed his parent, you know what I'm saying, eventually him and the Pharaoh just turned apart. They started going against each other, and that's what led to Moses saying, free my people and stuff like that. And so there was a lot of stuff going on and stuff. This led up to the whole family of Ruth and Boaz, and then eventually Christ, which is Yahushua, and stuff like that, and then the Jews. Man's deep. We'll continue. In those days, Egypt, Kemet, was the capital empire of the dominion and kingdoms of Africa, Amexem, as Washington, D.C. is the capital of the sovereign United States today. Washita, D.C., Washita. And by the way, not just Washington, Africa, that name comes from this ruler that had taken over Africa. He's a European, pardon me. His name was Africanus Scipionis, or Scipionis Africanus. So when he ruled over Africa and pretty much took over everything, they named Amexem after him. That's when we lost the sacred name of Amexem for Africa. And there's actually one more name before Amexem, a sacred name, but I have to remember what it is and do research again. But when that guy ruled over the name before Mexam was changed to a Mexam, and the Mexam was changed to Africa. And so people who are truly Egyptians, Moors, and Hebrew Israelites were turned into, or Cometians were turned into Africans. They started to subcategorize everything as Africans, which mean a slave to Africanus Scipionis. And as you know, black, white, and Negro, all that stuff is slave words too. So all this is slave words except a Mexam and the other words. And Washington, D.C. used to be one of the Washita headquarters, the Washita Moors. You see what I'm saying? Yahawashi. The illustrious lineage of Moorish American ancestry reveals they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with its dominion and habitation of kingdoms, nations, tribes, and families of Northwest and Southwest Africa. So the North and South were fighting like the North and South fought here in America. Extending across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, Central, and South Americas, and also Mexico and Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean, the great fall of Atlantis, to sink. We are born in the image and likeness of one omnipotent creator, the great God, and indigenous to the continental lands of the Americas, then subjected to the assumable jurisdictions of the various United States, incorporated under slave corporate color of law labels, abolished since 1865. So the word black and white been abolished since 1865, or at least slavery has, but not the name calling. So here are a few important events that impacted our world, culture, and nation. 1. The initial preliminary Emancipation Proclamation of September 22nd, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln. So make sure you look up these important events and times, because this is what's going to help you out in court as well, especially if you are Moorish, Haitian, or Hebrew Israelite, or Cometian, all this stuff. 2. Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Emancipation Proclamation, that on the first day of January in the year of our Lord 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall be forever free. And the executive government, which is the martial law government, the dictator government, because they were in martial law during that time. You see? Because remember, this 1863. So, and the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority, which mean the admiralty courts and all that stuff, thereof will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no act or acts to repress such persons or any of them. And once again, you know, person can mean corporation, so we don't know what context they're using that word. It could mean natural person or corporate person. So they will not do any acts or any, they will do no act or acts to repress such persons or natural persons or any of them in any effort they may make for their actual freedom. And by virtue of the power and for the purpose aforesaid, I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated nations and parts of states are and henceforth shall be free. So throughout the whole Union States, everyone who was under the Constitution during that time, all of them, they're subjected to the Constitution and laws of the Constitution, which mean they have to let go of all the slaves. And those who ain't part of the Constitution can do what they want, because remember, contract rules everything. And that the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authorities thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of said natural persons, or Moorish, Hebrew, Israelite, and Haitian people, native, indigenous, and sovereign people. And I hereby enjoin upon the people, so declared, to be free to abstain from all violence, unless in necessary self-defense. Because they know that he knew we were going to need to defend ourselves. Because no white person liked what Abraham Lincoln did. That's why he got assassinated. He didn't really free us all the way or save us all the way, but he set up something that we can work with. And now look at me. And I recommended to them that in all cases, when allowed, they labor faithfully for reasonable wages. So every time you work, you got to get paid reasonably. The minimum wage nowadays is not reasonable, but because we agree to it, we don't argue it or rebut it, it's reasonable. And it's said faithfully, in good faith. And like I said, if you've seen the video on the universal laws, I clearly state what a maxim is. And in one of the maxims clearly stated that a worker is worthy of their hire, a laborer is worthy of their wages. And there it goes right there again. This is where this is coming from. Which means I'm not a slave. You got to pay my ass. I've been emancipated. I've been free. I've always been free. I'm a human being. And I further declare and make known that such natural persons of suitable condition will be received into the armed service of the United States to garrison forts, positions, stations, and other places, and to man vessels of all sorts in said service. Does that mean? So those people who are in suitable condition, those who are United States citizens, can be drafted into the army pretty much to fight against your own will, because they have a contract with the U.S. by becoming a U.S. citizen. So they will be put to garrison fort positions, stations, and other places, and to man vessels of all sorts in said service. The service has to do with contract, compelled to perform. And upon this act, sincerely believed to be an act of justice, warranted by the Constitution, guaranteed by the Constitution, upon military necessity, I invoke the considerate judgment of mankind in the gracious favor of Almighty Yahweh. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal done deal, of the United States to be affixed. And as you can tell, what is a Navy? A Navy SEAL. A Navy SEAL, someone who works based on Admiralty, the waters, the bank, the shore. You see the bank, the side of the water, the shore, the currency, the sea, Admiralty, the sea, commerce, the sea of commerce, a sea of commercial activities, not a real sea. Done at the city of Washington, this first day of January, in the year of our Adonai, 1863, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 87th. It's 1987. By the President Abraham Lincoln, William H. Seward, Secretary of State. So there's a corporation. Look, it have our Abraham's name in all capital and everything. Everyone's name is all capital. And the president is someone who owns a company. And right here it says executive government, which means they're a company, because executive is who's executing the business's plans. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, the people is the executive. So secretary would be whoever's the secretary or the assistant of the president or whoever runs the business. You see? It's all right. Let's continue. 3. President Abraham Lincoln's annual address before Congress of December 1st, 1862. Check that out. 4. President Abraham Lincoln's proclamation of amnesty and reconstruction of December 8, 1863. Check that out. 5. President Abraham Lincoln's proposed resolution to Congress, February 5th, 1865. 6. President Andrew Johnson adhered to the policies, public policy, public policing. Remember we talked about that man-made law? So it's a corporation. Of President Abraham Lincoln, Johnson's proclamation of amnesty, May 18th, 65. Amnesty is some type of friendship. I might be wrong. It could mean either friendship or rivalry. Look up that word. I would do it right now, but we got a lot to cover up. 7. The Civil Rights Act of 1875, which is the Roman Vatican Law Rights Act, or the Catholic Rights Act, or European Rights Act of 1865. But check that out though, to know what that means and why it don't apply to you. 8. Abraham Lincoln's executive will. So before he died, he put all this in his will. And the will is the highest law of the land. You see what I'm saying? So he put all this done deal in his will. An executive will also be the martial law will. And no one's respecting that either right now. Why you think when you look at the coins, you put a penny next to a nickel, next to a dime and a quarter? The President Lincoln, which is the penny, they have him turn in the opposite way than the dime, then the nickel, the dime, and the quarter. You see what I'm saying? As if the president turned their back on him, as if he was by himself. And as today, as you can tell, they're pretty much disobeying the Constitution. They're disobeying their forefathers. They pretty much not honoring the executive will. So they're in complete dishonor in so many ways. Like they just have to fail. They just have to fail. Even their own people is gonna want to murder them. 9. Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. So this is when they declared it. That doesn't mean that was when they became independent. That just means when they declared it. 10. The United States of America's Constitution. All power is invested in Congress, not foreign de facto anti-constitutional franchises. 11. The Articles of Confederation. When you're making a business or building a trust, you need Article of Organization or Article of Confederation, Article of Federation, Article of Corporation, whatever you want to call it. But you have to have articles, which mean you're stating that you're opening up a business and get it ratified, which mean certified and notarized and things like that. So they were making a business, literally. And this one was in 1777, way before the proclamations and things like that. So they had a business already set up, put things in the order. 12. The Ordinance of 1787. Ordinance is laws and rules of a corporation. So they start making the rules, and this is going to lead to the Constitution eventually, like when they pretty much made the Constitution, which is a combination of the Articles of Confederation, the ordinances, the wills, and all that stuff. So thus referred to as Article 6, there shall be neither slavery nor involuntary servitude in the said territory, America, otherwise than in punishment of crimes whereof the party shall be duly convicted. Due process. 13. The 13th Amendment with 20 sections ratified on November 18, 1865. See, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections is different than the 13th Amendment that they're showing people nowadays. The 13th Amendment with 20 sections clearly go into detail about why slavery is abolished, how it's abolished, why they're free, they shall be paid, and that's the reason why they don't want to teach you about the 13th Amendment with 20 sections ratified on November 18, 1865, because it will pretty much set you free. All this stuff will set you free. They don't want you to know these things. They don't teach you these things in school. This would have set you free from the beginning. There would have been less crimes in this world. Lack of knowledge creates crime, because ignorance is a crime. All people shall have the right to peaceably assemble and worship God. Yahweh Shai, self. Gotta edit this, because this is not the name. This is the name they try to say it was. It's Yahweh Shai. According to the dictates of their own conscience. The traffic in slaves with Africa, America, Israel, Mecca, Egypt, Kemet is hereby forever prohibited on pain of death and the forfeit of all the rights and property of persons engaged therein. That's not me who said this. This is in the proclamations. And the descendants of Africans, Amexans, Israelites, Hebrews, we are not Jews. Jews are perpetrators of Israelites. They have invaded our culture and took all of our resources. We still forgive our attackers and now come with a message of peace. We are the original inhabitants of what you title America, and we must coexist in peace, honor, integrity, good faith, and self-discipline, self-disciple. We are the decision maker of our own life, and only we, solely, can dictate how our day will swing. If a man does not obey that common law, They will be used by their own wicked ways and non-loving energy until they forgive, repent, and surrender to the will of the Most High, Yahawashai, Yahweh, Adonai. Prime Creator, God is love. That's what the Creator is, love. Love creates, hate destroys. Knowledge, love, peace are the only true ways to enjoy life. In my culture, we believe in one spirit, one Most High, one Yahawashi, and one Yahweh, one Yahawashi, and one love, and it comes before man because it creates man. Please empathize with me and see why I continuously declare that we, true Israelites, Americans, Hebrew Americans, and Moorish American, can come with peace and pardon me. Alright, please empathize with me and see why I continuously declare that we, true Israelites, Hebrews, and Moorish Americans, come with peace and just want to equally enjoy this land you are depriving us of. We do not comprehend why there is so much not love and harmony towards our race when all of our ancestors are the same and descend from one spirit, consciousness, and pure raw energy. Positive energy is the creator and negative energy does not. The Holy Covenant, spiritual contract. I, Mikael Israel, McIntosh of the Jean family, a Moorish American, Israelite, Hebrew, descendant of the ancient Shem family, from the lands of Kemet, Egypt, Canaan, Israel, Yahawada, Mecca, and the Garden of Eden, hereby declare that I have a spiritual contract with Yahawashai, the Almighty Creator, and I must live by the 10, truthfully 600 and plus commandments of my holy parents' body, or I will face consequences for disobeying my holy parents' divine and universal laws, creed, and way of life. These laws are based on the basic foundations of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Just us, or just ice. We are all one family of Israelites, brothers, sisters, moms, and dads, and we must learn to love each other instead of hate. Peace and love is the only way for me to live, and I must follow these laws for as long as the covenant that exists between me and my Creator is fulfilled. I come in peace, and I come with peace, and declare that I shall live in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice for the rest of my eternities. I declare peace on earth and peace amongst all the lost but now found 12 tribes of Isis, Ra, Elohim, Israel, from the north, south, east, and west quadrants. I declare that we are all one family and should begin to look at earth as one home that we all commonly share. The future and tomorrow is in our hands only if we can work together as humans and live by the laws of our Creator, here, now, and present, pledging fully. Those who disobey the laws of life, nature, and the universe, Yahweh and Yahawashai, are breaching their common law contract with the Creator and will suffer consequences and punishments beyond the flesh and living's current perspective of this one non-physical, fully energetic and spiritual God, Prime Creator, Yahweh, Yahawashai. May thy eye be single, and may the children of Israel learn to love instead of not love. May the nation of America continue to be a land based on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I, self-law and master, shalom, peace. Alright, now we look into Genesis 17, section 7. Name Abram, which is really the ram, the sign of Aries, where everything began. And Jesus was the time of Pisces, Mary was the time of Virgo, and blah blah blah. Everything's based around the astrology. That's all I gotta say. The whole months, the seasons, it's crazy. I will make you exceedingly fruitful. This is what Yahweh is telling us through Yahweh Shai, its child, its messenger. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings will come forth from you. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your descendants after you, to be Adonai to you. I will give to you and to your descendants after you the land of your sojournings, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. Leviticus 26, section 1. You shall not make for yourselves idols, nor shall you set up for yourselves an image or a sacred pillar, nor shall you place a figured stone in your land to bow down to it. For I am the Lord Adonai, your Most High, Yahweh, or Yahweh. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am Adonai. If you look in the Hebrew translation, the Lord means Adonai. The Lord in English means something else. And God, it means something else. They had changed it up. The devil had changed up the words. Just names of the Creator and certain things. So in Exodus 20 we see, you shall not make for yourself an idol or any likeness of what is in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the water under the earth. You shall not worship them or serve them, for I, the Lord, your God, Adonai, the Most High, am a jealous God, is a jealous Most High, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, on the third and the fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing loving kindness to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of Adonai, the Most High, in vain, for Adonai, Yahweh Shai, will not leave him unpunished who takes his name in vain. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be prolonged in the land which Adonai, the Most High, gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, defamation, slander, libel. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Exodus 34. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be prolonged in the land which Adonai, the Most High, gives you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Deuteronomy. Adonai did not set his love on you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any of the peoples, for you were the fewest of all peoples. But because Adonai loved you, and kept oath which he swore to your forefathers, Adonai brought you out, or Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya, I am that I am, brought you out by a mighty hand, and redeemed you from the house of slavery, which is the house of the zodiac signs, from the hand of the Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that Adonai, the Most High, is the Most High, the faithful Most High, who keeps its covenant, that keeps his covenant and loving kindness to 1,000th generation with those who love it and keep its commandments. Because it's a it, not a his. Because they changed up a couple of stuff in these Christian Bibles and art stuff. Luckily, I know how to translate them. But repays those who hate him to their faces to destroy them. So our Creator destroys those who are against it. He will not delay with him who hates him. He will repay him to his face. Therefore you shall keep the commandment and the statutes and the judgments which I am commanding you today, to them, which I am commanding to you today, to do them. Promises of the Most High. Then it shall come about, because you listen to these judgments and keep and do them, that Adonai, the Most High, will keep with you its covenant and its loving kindness which it swore to your forefathers. It will love you and bless you and multiply you. It will also bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your ground, your grain and your new wine and your oil, the incense of your herd and the young of your flock, and the land which it swore to your forefathers to give you. Hebrew Israelite. You shall be blessed above all peoples. There will be no male or female barren among you or among your cattle. Which means everyone's having children. Everything's fruitful. The land's growing everything. Adonai will remove from you all sickness and dis-ease, not at ease, and it will not put on you any of the harmful diseases of Egypt, Kemet, which you have known, but it will lay them on all who hate you. You shall consume all the peoples whom Adonai, the Most High, will deliver you to. So the Most High sent us to do his job. Your eyes shall not pity them, nor shall you serve their gods, for that would be a snare to you. So if you check out here, this is the Israelite timeline. From Abraham, the ram, to the exile of Israel out of the land. Islamic Jewish relations started in the 7th century CE with the origin and spread of Islam in the Arabian Peninsula. The two religions share similar values, guidelines, and principles. 1. Islam also incorporates Jewish history as a part of its own. Muslims regard the children of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, as an important, or the tribes of Jacob, because Israel means Jacob, as an important religious concept in Islam. Important religious concept. That's pretty fishy, because a lot of people have been using our religious concepts in many different religions and forms and ways. Moses, the most important prophet of Judaism, of Judah, is also considered a prophet and messenger in Islam. 2. Moses is mentioned more in Quran than any other individual, and his life is narrated and recounted more than that of any other prophet. 3. There are approximately 43 references to the Israelites in the Quran, excluding individual prophets. 4. And many in the Hadith. Later, rabbinic authorities and Jewish scholars, the Ashkenazi Jews, the foreign white-looking wannabe Hebrews, them rabbis, such as Maimonides, I can't pronounce that, Maimonides, discuss the relationship between Islam and Jewish law or Hebrew law. Maimonides himself, it has been argued, was influenced by Islamic legal thought. 5. Because Islam and Judaism share a common origin in the Middle East through Abraham, both are considered Abrahamic religions. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites are brothers and sisters. They're the same, but they're not. This one slight disbelief is what's keeping them against each other. There are many shared aspects between Judaism and Islam. Islam was strongly influenced by Judaism in its fundamental religious outlook, structure, jurisprudence, and practice. 1. Because of this similarity, as well as through the influence of Muslim culture and philosophy of the Jewish community, or the Yehuda community within the Islamic world, there has been considerable and continued physical, theological, and political overlap between the two faiths in the subsequent 1,400 years. Obviously, the Hebrew Israelites is where the truth's coming from, because the Hebrew Israelites didn't need to take anything from anybody. Everyone else is taking their information and using it in every other way. So we all are Hebrew Israelites at the end of the day, or we are the Gentiles. Hold on. Alright, let's continue. The first 3 centuries of the Christian era, the Roman Catholic era pretty much, weren't easy for the Hebrews, for the dark-skinned people. There was a lot of confusion between the Hebrews and the Christians due to instigation by the Roman government saying the Hebrews killed Jesus and his true name was Yahawashai. Like, why would they kill their own savior? Bunch of lies. And that false accusation has followed the Hebrews even until this day. So they've been attacking our people pretty much. When they say they've been killing the Jews, they've been killing the Brews, the Hebrews. They've been killing the dark-skinned people. The whole Holocaust was about dark-skinned people. They're lying. No wonder they don't like black people and Hebrew people, because they're the same thing. But at that time, okay, pardon me. So that followed the Hebrews even until this day. So Christians don't really believe in Christ. They don't believe in Yahawashai. They believe in Roman gods and Roman rules and stuff like that, foreign rules. So they're the ones who had killed Christ. They couldn't believe that Hebrew messenger Yahawashai was Christ. So they crucified him because he wasn't a Christian. He wasn't a Catholic and shit. So Christians and Catholics are always been abominated. They will be punished. But at that time, it did force the Hebrews to flee from persecution, while at the same time, we also fled from the Christians due to forced conversion. It was a do or die situation. You either accepted Christianity or you died. Next was the rise of Islam, some several hundred years later, 6th or 7th century. Islam was gaining some dominance, but not enough to convert the Hebrew Israelites. Muhammad sought the Hebrews. Muhammad was one of the leaders and prophets of the Islamic nation. But the Hebrews didn't want to have anything to do with Islam. So eventually a choice was given to the Hebrews, either Islam or die by the sword. The threat of the sword was definitely carried out by the command of Muhammad, killing the Hebrew Israelite males and selling the Hebrew women. Like I said, the Moors had enslaved many of the Hebrew Israelites as well. Actually, the Moors are a part of the reason why the whole dark-skinned race fell. They love enslaving people. They like Arabs and stuff like that. Arabs. After the death of Muhammad, his successor, Abu Bakr, with a tighter grip than Muhammad, continued with the caravan, continued with the massacre. And if you see today, the Islamic nation is constantly bombing and destroying Israel. You see what I'm saying? The same old thing. You know, everyone is getting together with their ancestors and their tribe and their nation, and they're continuing what their ancestors have done. Like, it's crazy. History repeats itself literally. Africa, or Mexico, wasn't the only country where the Hebrews dwelled because of them fleeing their captor and wanting to live a life of freedom. Spain and Portugal, to name a few, were 2 countries where the Hebrews tried to leave. So the Hebrews were also, not only were they in Rome, some of them were in Spain, some of them were in Portugal, there were many places, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were scattered everywhere. So life for the Hebrews in Spain was fair until January 2nd, 1492. This is the year that King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella signed an order to deport the Hebrews out of Spain. Christianity had taken a strong hold in Spain, and Ferdinand and Isabella approved the expulsion because the Jews were secretly maintaining their faith as Moses has instructed them, and not embracing the Christian religion and nor the Islamic religion. Because our God is an unseen God. It's not Muhammad, it's not Noble Drew Ali, it's not a statue, it's none of that stuff. No wonder we argue back and forth about these things, these facts. So this is a timeline. About 21,000 BC, or 2100 BC, pardon me, Yah promises Abraham many descendants. Here we are. About 2000 BC, Jacob, which is Israel, is born. About 1910 BC, Joseph was sold into slavery. So Joseph was the child of Jacob, because Jacob and Isaac was a child of Abraham, and Abraham was a child of Noah. So everything started from the whole Noah thing and stuff. Now we go down. About 1446 BC, Exodus begins. About 1436 BC, Moses rules by the laws and commands of Yahweh and establishes the priesthood by the tribe of Levi, which is the tribe of the Haitians, the priests, the leaders. About 1400 BC, Israel, Jacob, is ruled by judges, not kings. About 1050 BC, Saul becomes Israel's first king, Saul. About 1010 BC, King David becomes king of Israel. So Saul becomes Israel's first king, and then David becomes okay, I see. So King David becomes the second king pretty much. About 970 BC, Solomon. Sol means son, man means man, so the soul man. Soul means son, and man means man, so son man. Solomon, or the solo man, becomes king, builds temple. About 926 BC, Israel becomes a divided kingdom. So now before Christ, everyone's been divided over here. The 12 tribes become divided, because now we becoming a big nation by then. You know, there's just, the family's so big that we don't even realize we're family anymore, and we start to adapt to our own beliefs because we stray away from the beliefs of our forefathers. So 721 BC, Assyrians conquer northern kingdom of Israel. 612 BC, Babylon conquers Nineveh. So Babylon conquers Nineveh, Assyrian Empire, Syria. 605 BC, Babylon asserts influence over Judah, Yahudah, Israel. So now Babylon, the Baal, the devil, in other words, start to take influence over Israel. So now Israel is starting to get into devil stuff and start worshiping idol worships and all that bullshit. This is the beginning. And those who didn't want to conform to Babylon, to evil, in 597 BC, it attacks Israel. Babylon attacks Judah. So the battle is between Babylon and Judah. The devil, God. The not chosen ones, the Gentiles, the chosen ones, the Yahudas, the Jews. 586 BC, Babylon destroys Jerusalem and temple. So the devil eventually destroys Jerusalem and the temple through the ignorance and hatred of Judah itself. So Judah fell, fallen angel. 586 to 573 BC, Babylon king Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar attacks Tyre. Pardon me. So Babylon king Nebuchadnezzar attacks Tyre. So now Babylon got a king and stuff, this evil, wicked king, and it uses its army to start attacking Tyre. And as you can tell, no attacking and no killing started until Israel became divided and blinded. And then Babylon went ahead and started this evil influence over Judah. And then it attacked Judah The devil attacked Judah, then destroyed Jerusalem and the temple. And then now you have this freaking king, Nebuchadnezzar, attacking Tyre. In 539 BC, Cyrus, the great conquerors, Cyrus, the great conquerors Babylon. So finally we destroyed their ass. So, well, not us, but Cyrus. 538 BC, Cyrus releases the Israelites from Babylonian captivity. So now we're free. The Creator has sent the messenger we need and the army we need to free us. 536, and look at the gaps between these dates too. I'm not going to go do that. That's just crazy, but this will help you see the truth. 536 BC, work begins to build temple. So now they're rebuilding a temple that has been pretty much destroyed 586 BC. So 516 BC, second temple is dedicated. 333 BC, Greeks began rule over the land of Israel. Now the Greeks want to come attack us just like the Babylon. After we done built our temple again, had fixed up everything, living in peace. So now in 331 BC, Alexander conquers Tyre, Phoenician Empire. So everyone keeps attacking Tyre. So it's the Phoenician Empire. In 250 BC, the Old Testament is translated into Greek. In 175 BC, before Christ, Greek ruler and Antiochus Epiphanes torments the Israelites. So pretty much a Greek ruler started tormenting the dark-skinned Hebrew Israelites. So they're constantly being attacked. You don't hear anything about the Israelites being aggressors. You see what I'm saying? They're always the one who's being attacked. But the Israelites had times when they did wrong too. Because remember when Babylon exerted its influence over Judah, over Israelites, the Israelites were starting to do wicked things on their own. They started doing bad things on their own. You see what I'm saying? So we did do bad things, but we never necessarily attacked any other nation on an offense mode. We usually destroy them when they're here and they mess with us. We're not usually the aggressors. As you can tell, Babylon and Greece is in Greek. But we have times when we have been the engaging fighter in conflict because we needed to. We're tired of being slaves. I mean, it's natural to feel that way. So 164 to 63 BC, Israelites have independence during Matthias Hasmonean, the Maccabean rule period. The Maccabean. So Matthias Hasmonean, the Maccabean, or the Maccabean in rule period. So we pretty much gain our independence around 164 through 63. So in 63 BC, Romans take over the land of Israel. Boom. Now you got the Greeks, Babylonian, Roman. They must be Babylon. You see what I'm saying? They're the same people. And these people are light-skinned people. They're coming up from up north in England and stuff like that. It always was like that. It seems like some of the Moors from England too are evil too. So it's something about England. The energy is there. I'm not sure what it is, but something during that time. They got hella power for war. And we got a lot of power for peace. 73 through 4 BC, Herod the Great. So that's when he rose. About 5 BC, Yahushua is born in Bethlehem. Yahushua, not Yahushua, not Yahshua. About 20 CE, Herod renovates Second Temple and enlarges Temple Mount. Dang. So Herod the Great probably was a ruler of Rome, the Roman Catholic, the Vatican. About 26 CE, Yahawashi or Yahushua begins his ministry, missionary work. About 27 CE, Yahushua talks of Yahweh's laws and commandments. About 30 CE, Yahawashi is crucified, buried, and resurrected. 70 CE, Romans destroy Jerusalem and temple. Most Israelites fled into the desert and mountains of Africa. Luke 21, section 20 through 24. So now Rome destroys the second temple again. So it's this constant fight with these people. 135 CE, during Caesar's era. I believe that's what CE means, or before Caesar. Like BC mean before Caesar. People say before Christ, but before Caesar, CE is during Caesar's era. So in 135 CE, Romans destroy and plow Jerusalem. General Hadrian kills 580,000 Israelites to suppress Bar Kokhba, revolt banning them never to live in Israel. So now after that happened, all the blacks started to pretty much leave. They started dying, wear out. They start to flee, run away. Like just this slavery wouldn't stop. The slavery wouldn't stop only because we believe in the Most High. Yahawashi, Yahweh. Yahawashi is the father that has sinned, Yahawashi. Yahawashi is Yahushua, aka Jesus. You see, it's the same thing. They're just changing up the words on you because we're still at war. So here, these are the Kazars, the white Jews that took over our land. Kazars taken the identity of Israelites, the exile. In the late 1800s, Zionist movement begins. So Zion is the movement of the fake Jews. In 1882 through 1903, Jews, aka Kazars, begin to occupy the land of Israel. Even New York, like New York was a city full of a bunch of Hebrew Israelite people and stuff like that. And why you think it got the word New York? It's really Jew York. Even the word York is a Jewish word. You know what I'm saying? Like Yorkie, Yorkshire. You see what I'm saying? New York, Jew York. Like this, the Jews run this whole motherfucking thing, man. The whole motherfucking thing. They are the the Babylonian, Roman, Vatican Empire. Same old shit. So late 1800s, Zionist movement begins. 1882 through 1903, Jews, aka Kazars, begin to occupy the land of Yis-RoyAl. 1896, the Jewish, aka Kazars, state is published. Zionism grows. Now they're creating a state, which is a form of corporate bullshit. Starting is in the beginning of its creation now, a state. So now they're creating a corporation in our land. They have created a corporation here in America too, and a corporation pretty much everywhere. This is how they start to change things forcefully. And through their corporation or their state or their company, you can buy products and own houses and things like that. It's a form of slavery, really. So Zionism grows. 1897, Jews, aka Kazar. Yeah, a lot of black people too who are dark-skinned Hebrew Israelites that did not know the truth started converting to Zionism as well. You see, because they thought that the Jews started using our symbol, the Kazars started using our symbols and stuff, and because we know those are our symbols and we found truth to those symbols, we start to associate those symbols with the names. So now they start creating flags and all this stuff with our symbols on it, trying to represent our shit. So people who don't know the truth, like the new upcoming Hebrew Israelites and stuff, they don't know that they're not Zionists, that this is a racist movement, a complete racist movement. Or a race-decide movement. Alright, in 1897, the Kazars unite in effort to occupy more of Israel. Oh man. In 1917, in 1917, the British gained control of Palestine, Israel. So Palestine was also part of Israel, but then it got taken over by the British too. Why I think they're attacking the Palestine people, the Iran people, Iraq, all the, because they're the children of Israel. Most of them are children of Israel that have fled upwards and that had fled north and south and west to get away from the grip of the slaveholders and oppressors. And they followed us everywhere we went. They followed us, hunt us down, everything. In 1933 through 1944, 6 million German Jews killed by German Nazis and German Jews. So 1933 through 1944. Wow. Dang, that's freaking crazy. Alright, 6 million German Jews. So German Jews, which would be the Kazars, German Kazars, because the Kazars are Germans. Remember I told you that the tribe of Edom is, or Azar is the Germans, the Europeans. So they were the Jews. And guess what? They were killed by German Nazis and German Jews. So you got these Khazars killing Khazars now, because probably some of the Khazars knew the truth to their history too and knew who they were, and they're like, hold up, we're not from Israel, we're not Zionists, what's going on? So like, hold up, we gotta shut 6 million German Jews fucking mouth up. We gotta shut them up. And who else is gonna do it? Not the Israelites, but the ones that want to promote the lie, the German Nazis and the German Jews. The same freaking people who's trying to take over shit, kill their own people. So in 1948, Khazars, aka Jews, accomplished their goal and are allowed occupation of Israel by the United Nations. So now you got a nation that united, and now they occupy Israel and took over. So the United Nations is all the way over there pretty much in Israel. They took over. They set their base there. This is where they're going to start everything. So Israel is going to be destroyed in order to destroy them and be rebuilt. 1948, surrounding countries invade Israel. Oh man, poor little Israel, poor Jacob. All because we believe in the Most High, Yahweh. Yahweh Shai, the messenger. He who saves. In 1949, the first Arab Israeli Kazar war ends. So these people, these Khazars, were pretty much Arabs. And it's funny because most of the Islamic people speak Aramic. You know, they're Arabs. You see, like, this is all making sense now. So these people are the Khazars. In 1967, Six-Day War, Israelis, Jews, aka Khazars, captured the city of Jerusalem. In 1982, Yiddish becomes an official language of Israel. It is passed off as Hebrew. Jacob, aka Israel, to Shem, son of Noah. Dang, this is crazy. So that's pretty much what happened. Now the Jews took over, and they're just going deep into it now. Like, that's why I saw these white Jews over there and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff not being told about our history and our nationality, because these same Khazars are the ones running this English-based, Vatican-based, international foreign-based system. Same old shit, man. So right here, this is how the family started off. Noah, after the flood, Noah was the only one living. And so, well, it wasn't Noah, it was Noah and his family and some, like, pretty much Noah and his family and a couple of animals and stuff. But Noah created Shem is the father of Shem is the father of Arphax. Arphax is the father of Salah. Salah is the father of Eber. Peleg is the son of Eber. Ru is the son of Peleg. Serug is the son of Ru. Nahor is the son of Serug. 9. Terah is the son of Nahor. Terah is the father of Abraham. So this is where we get Abraham. Abraham, aka Abram, is the father of Isaac. Isaac is this Isaac is the father of Jacob, which is Israel. So Isaac is the father of Israel, and Jacob is Israel. It is the son of Isaac. And hold on, man, I'm gonna have to put this down. But then Jacob, aka Israel, to Shem, son of Noah. So it goes from Jacob to Shem. Everything started from Noah down to Jacob, and from there Jacob got the blessing from Abraham, and this is where the promise came. Because Abraham, well, the first covenant was made with Noah, and Noah all the way down the line had followed the covenant up to Abraham. Abraham gave the blessing to Jacob, to Isaac, and Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob, and Isaac had two kids, Edom, Azar, and Jacob. And Azar hated Jacob because Jacob tricked Azar or Edom into selling his birthright and his soul for some soup or some lentils or some bread or some food. And Edom fell for it because he was hungry, so he gave it to Jacob. So he was mad. And on top of that, Jacob had took the blessing of Edom because I don't want to go into explanation of it, but Jacob pretty much took the blessings of Edom. So ever since then, Edom, the white people, the Germans and all that, swore to vengeance on Jacob. He was looking for Jacob to kill him and all that. Eventually they had met up again and stuff, and they linked up like on some good terms, and now forgave each other and all that. But then over time, they, their people didn't forget. You know what I'm saying? So their people, which is the tribe of Edom, swore vengeance on the tribe of Jacob for something that happened a long time ago, and something that has probably been repaired or forgotten about. Because they were brothers. So literally the white people and black people are all family. They're the family of Isaac, and they come from Abraham. Abraham come from Terah. Terah come from Nahor. Nahor come from Serug. Serug come from Ru. Ru come from Peleg. Peleg come from Eber. Eber comes from Salah. Salah comes from Arphax. Arphax come from Shem, and Shem come from Noah, and Noah was the beginning after the flood. You see? So this is all talking about nations, nationality, customs. And this is the tribes, the 12 tribes. This is who they are. They're now being revealed, as you can tell. So Zephaniah 2 section 1, gather yourself together. Yeah, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. We are the nation not desired. We've been attacked, and this is the Israel right here. These 12 people, these 12 groups have been attacked all throughout this planet. So 1, Judah, they're considered the Negroes, aka or should be the Moors. It's really the Moors. If it's not the Moors, then it's the Negroes and the blacks. They're in America. Benjamin, which is the West Indians, which is the Jamaicans and things like that. The Trinidadians, the West Caribbean. They're the second in line, the second of God's strength. 3, Levi, which would be the Haitians, or the Dominican republics will come after it. Simeon. 5, Zebulon, Guatemala to Panama. So Guatemala to Panama, Zebulon. Ephraim is Puerto Rico, the Boricuas. 7, Manasseh is the Cubans. So all these people are the 12 tribes, man. If you're from one of these groups, you're part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Yis-RoyAl. Before we'd been divided and turned colors and all this stuff because of the rape, the constant rape these white people were committing on us. 8, God, North American Indians. So that would be in America. The North American Indians are God. 9, Reuben, the Seminole Indians. 10, Naphtali, Argentina and Chile. 11, Asher, Colombia and Uruguay. 12, Issachar, the Mexicans. So the Mexicans too are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. The whole Mayans and all that stuff. And in John 8, section 32, it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The white man's coming back, guys. Here, right here, the 12 tribes of Israel. Again, there's a better picture to look at it. So the top three is the southern kingdom. These people from the south. This is the northern kingdom. All right here. And that's pretty much it. you want to take a look. All this is going to be on the page when you sign up. And the last two things I have to show you is this: Hashanya, Ashara, Shabbat, Yam, Yashar, Allah. The 12 tribes of Israel. Yashar Allah. That's the original name for Israel. Yashar Allah. So Hashanya, Ashara, Shabbat, Yam, Yashar Allah. So right here, this is how you spell it in ancient Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. This is the way you spell it. So if you put the words together and stuff, it spells Yahawada. If you you have to read it from right to left, because that's how you read Hebrew. It's not read from left to right. So we're completely confused in the West. We're confused over here in America. Completely confused, completely stripped, completely butt-ass fucking naked, buck naked. Huh. So one, Judah, Yahweh, thanks. That's what Judah mean. And the true name for Judah, this is the English translation. The name is Yahawada. 2, Benjamin, son of the right. That's what Ban-Yam-Yan mean. Ban-Yam-Yan. Benjamin, Ban-Yam-Yan, son of the right. Levi, join to me. Lawyer, Levi, join to me. That's what that means. 4, Simeon, affliction heard. Shamiwan, affliction heard. Shamiwan. 5, Zebulon, dwelling. Zabalawan, that means dwelling. Zabalawan. 6, Ephraim, I am fruitful. Aparayam, I am fruitful. Aparayam. 7, Manasseh, made to forget. Manasseh, made to forget. Manasseh. 8, God, troop. God mean the same thing. God, troop. So they're troops, warriors, fierce, the Indians. 9, Reuben, see it's a son. Ra'aban, see it's a son. 10, Asher, happy. Ashar, that's the true way to say it. Ashar, happy. 11, Naphtali, my wrestling. Napatalia, my wrestling. Napatalia. Then we have Yashakar, which is Issachar. He is hired. Issachar, he is hired. Yashakar. And you can read these in Genesis chapter 49 and Deuteronomy chapter 33 for y'all that read the books. King James Version is the best one to get, because the Christian one will lie to you. It will lie to you. And this is what Yahweh mean. So these are the different languages, the transitions that our language went through. Contemporary Hebrew, this is YHWH, Yod He Vav He. And English translation is this. So they try to trick us by putting it as Yahweh or Yahovah or Jehovah. That's not the real name. Or Yahushua, it's not the real name. As you can tell right here, these letters right here, YH, this is H, this is Y, this is Y, this is H, this is Y and H, because remember, we read from right to left. So that stands for Yah, I am, myself the one. So Yah mean I am. Right here is HW, this is H, and this is W, or 2 V's, Vav, or Wav. And HUW stand for he, same, who is. I am he, or I am the same, or I am who is, or myself, or the one who is. Alright, right here, HWH, 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 Hawa. So each breakdown of the words means something. So Hawa means to exist, self. I am he who exists. Yahweh. So right here we continue on. YHW, 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 Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahoo. I am he, the one who is. So remember, got the Yah in it again, and it got the who. So Yahoo. So I am he, and you put that the rest that exists. So once again, YHWH, 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 and you put the vowels from the Hebrew language into it. Yahweh or Yahweh. I am he who exists. I am he who exists. There's different ways you can put it. I am, or myself, is who exists, or myself is the one who exists, or the one who is self. Like there's many ways to put it, or the one who is, like you see what I'm saying. That's where I get the Yahweh from, and Yahweh, she is a child of the great I am. Another way to say I am too, I am that I am, is Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. Alright guys, thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. This one was pretty lengthy. We covered up a lot of stuff, you know, so I hope you guys took notes. Check out the school. I will be publishing it soon. Spread the word, teach people about their nationality, their culture, who they are, and stuff like that. And let's continue to spread the peace and love. Before we leave, let's go ahead and, you know, see a couple of pictures. Contact me if you have any questions, and I'll answer you as best as I can. There's many different things that we will be learning in this school, so stay in tune. In the very last video I'm going to be showing you guys, because I thought the last one was going to be the last one in this one, but the last one I'm going to show you is the meaning of the words that I've been using, which is going to be very brief, very quick, and just to complete what we've learned since the supreme laws all the way down to culture and the wars going on and all that stuff, and you know. Well, alright guys, I'll see you in that next part. Namaste.